Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. Online Trading Academy is an academy local here, physical place to go to learn how the markets work, learn how and why to buy, why to sell, making smarter investing decisions, whether you're looking for short-term income strategies or retirement strategies, 401k, IRA. And that's the stuff we're going to talk about here on this segment here is the 401k and IRA and what's going on with those. But if you did miss tickets to that free investing class, text right now for 2 seats for this class that we do locally here. Hands-on workshop on how the markets actually function and different income strategies in the markets. Text the word investing to the number 210-210, and that's for 2 seats for this class. Most people bring their spouse or significant other. That way, if you make your financial decisions together, make it an outing. Make it an outing. It's kind of like a country club for traders and investors here. And that's one of the things we have a lot of fun here on the show, which we like to do in the same thing here at these different classes because you got to make this interesting and enjoyable for people. And it's always a fun time talking about the markets. And a lot of people don't know anything about the markets, and that's a great thing. Learn how the markets work, institutional trading, how that works, and how we or us as retail investors can trade like that. And we can do that in our retirement accounts, Al, as well.
Right.
Because if you have your money sitting with a broker or a financial advisor or whatever that may be, the people are great, but they always say, I got my gal or my guy and I like them, but I'm losing money. Well, you like them because they probably send you cards every once in a while and say really nice things to you, but are they really helping you reach your financial goals? And part of the reason is you're in a buy and hold strategy, which over time, it's not the best strategy because you can't get that time back. We're seeing right now markets are down pretty big over from 2022 into 2023. And people are looking at their statements and they're like, wow, honey, what are we going to do about retirement? Al, I want you to dissect that a little bit. Why? First off, just real briefly or kind of top line, why are the accounts down for everybody right now? But also, what can they do a little bit differently to protect those? And then if we get enough time, maybe this goal will go into the next segment. How do we have profit potential as these go down as well?
Yeah, I think I kind of hit on that in the first segment where I said that what people are using now isn't working. What worked up until sometime in 2021 just is not working right now. And remember, the market from essentially from 2009 through 2020 was in a bull market. That was the longest bull market that we've ever seen. So pretty much anything worked during that time period, including what most people are in. You mentioned a lot of people go to a financial advisor. They like the person, and most people that go into that business, it's a people business. It's a social business. So people that go into it are the kind of people that you're going to like. And I'm not saying that they don't try to help you, but their hands are kind of tied too. And when you have 300-400 or more clients to deal with, you can't possibly spend time each day or each week on every one of those 300-400 people. So people are put into something that is like a pile of other investors in a mutual fund or into some kind of a proprietary investment that the firm might have. That they're trying to do what is in your best interest with the time that they have. But that's the problem. They don't have the time to devote to this like you can. And the bottom line is what's best for their company. Their job depends on them performing, and that doesn't mean necessarily performing for you. It means performing for the company.
And what does that mean?
Well, it means that they may not have your best interest in mind. It may be the best interest of the company, for example. But the bottom line is that if you are taking control of your assets yourself, there are things that you can do on a more regular basis that will be beneficial to you. And one of the problems is a lot of the strategies that Wall Street Wall Street advisors use, financial advisors use, don't have protective vehicles. And you can do that on your own. And when you think about the knowledge that people have, the knowledge that's provided by Wall Street, why isn't that knowledge as complete as it could be? Why are the Wall Street firms, the pros, doing something different than in many cases their clients are doing or the public is doing? And remember that there has to be somebody on each side of a trade. Somebody has to be on the buy side, someone has to be on the sell side. If the institutions and the pros are on a one side, let's say that they're buying, they're going long, they have to find somebody or some group of people willing to sell to them. Typically, that's the public. Predominantly, the public, the novices, the retail traders are on the other side of a trade from a professional. So, do you want to be trading against a professional, or do you want to be trading with them? And that's what we want to do is bridge that gap between where you are now and towards being trading more like a professional.
Hmm.
401ks, 403bs, retirement accounts, employer sponsored or government sponsored retirement accounts in the year 2022 were down about 25%. And I think I mentioned last week, which I'll mention again now, in 2020, when the market was up, or in 2021 when it was up 20%, the 57% of the people with retirement accounts were down 10% or more. So they
Hmm.
even went into this last year where they lost 25%, down maybe 10% or more.
Yeah.
That's why people are struggling, and that's why they're looking at their retirement maybe in a different way than they had previously looked at it. Maybe
Yep.
it's no longer the dream that they had. It's now they're living in a way that they have to, based on the fact that a lot of their retirement money was taken away from them.
Yeah, and just to give some other examples, what Al is talking about is why just let your money disappear? And that's what happens in these down markets. And people say, "Oh, I wish I would have done something different."
Hmm.
And that was we kind of bring this full circle several times now back to the beginning of the show. It's not changing things; it's just doing things a little bit differently. And that's what we do here at Online Trading Academy is we train these different strategies that you may have not seen before because the public, and if you're listening right now, you've been conditioned from a young age to go and get a job, go to school, get a good
Hmm.
job, get a 401k, and you're going to retire with billions of dollars. Nobody's doing that. But everybody's still being told to do that
Right.
because that nobody knows anything different. Well, why not learning the different strategies, learning how the institutions are doing it, protect what you have? I mean, there's things that people do every day to protect themselves. You get in your car every day. What's hopefully the first thing that everybody always does? They put on their seatbelt. That is to protect yourself. Same thing with your home. People have insurance on their home.
Right.
Why, if there's a fire, hopefully you don't ever have that, but you are protected in case that happens, so you don't have a huge loss.
Hmm.
You can do that same thing in the financial markets. Protect yourself from huge losses, which is what's happening for people right now. And then over time, it takes a very, very long time to make that back. If you're in your 50s right now, and if you're down, probably 25% at one point, maybe even 30 or 40% at one point in a lot of people's accounts, do you have the time to make that back in a slow moving market as it goes up? Because Al, does it go up faster or down
It
faster?
goes down about 3 times faster than it goes up.
It does, yeah. So if you have a strategy that where it only profits as it goes up and it's very, very slow, that time aspect doesn't help you at all. It hurts you. And that's why over time, your rate of return that way is so small and people just don't have enough to get there. I think what is the average savings or retirement account? It's under $100,000
It,
in the
it
US,
is
I think.
under 100,000, and I think people understand that to retire really comfortably, you're going to need well over $1 million. $1 million used to be kind of the gold
But
standard.
that only lasts 10 years probably if you want to spend if you
Well,
spend 100 grand a year.
and think about it. If you have $1 million in a retirement account and you're pulling out, say, 4%, and that's
Hmm.
kind of the Wall Street go-to. They say if you pull out 4% of your retirement money, that you should be able to make it through retirement. That's only $40,000 on a
Yeah.
$1 million account.
And
People that have $1 million in a retirement account are probably living a lifestyle that costs more than
correct.
$40,000.
And I was actually having that same conversation with my dad this week. And he's like, people, why do you just want to get by? Can you get by? Potentially. But are you going to have any fun? Are you going to be able to do the fun things that you're supposed to? Everybody works all their life. It's crazy. And they strive for retirement. That's what everybody
Hmm.
wants to do. Even though people say, I'm never going to retire. Well, you want to slow down. You're going to have to at one point. But then if you can't do anything at that time, either A, because you worked so long, you're too old to do anything, or B, you don't have any money. So you
Hmm.
have to do things a little bit differently. And hopefully some of the things we talk about here today on the show inspires people to do things differently. And it all comes down to learning those different strategies. We have these different classes during the week here at the Academy. We're located in Bloomington, right next to the Mall of America. Very easy to find, state-of-the-art facility. We got 3 different classrooms, and we teach people these different strategies. these different concepts and techniques on the market. So if you have a retirement account, you want to protect that, or you need to grow that, and you think you don't have time to do that, well, there are leveraged assets to be more efficient with your capital. That's your money. Use it wisely, but learn how to do that first. And that's why we have these investing classes, to introduce you to these different techniques and concepts. You can text right now for 2 seats. So if you're driving, hopefully you have your seatbelt on. Let's do another thing. Let's pull over. Text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for this class. In this class, we'll talk about how the markets work, a lot about retirement strategies, concepts. If you have those 401ks and IRAs and they're not looking too stellar right now, well, you know what? There are other options that you have. Text the word investing to the number 210. Al, we got one more coming up here. Stay tuned. We got a lot more to cover on the retirement accounts coming up next. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.